Hello, it's me again. I'm Nafid. Today we'll talk about the ClearPass cluster. There's going to be a simple use case. We will use two appliances. One will be dedicated or designated as a publisher. The other one will be a subscriber. The key point here, we will use a very simple certificate issuing process. So we will generate a self-signed certificate on the publisher. So that's self-signed certificate on the publisher. And then we will trust that certificate in the subscriber. There will be two certificates will be issued. There will be HTTPS based certificate, and another one will be the database certificate. So these two certificates then will be installed in the trusted root. They will be installed in the trusted root of the subscriber. Subscriber now trust the publisher, and then the cluster formation will be successful. One of the things that publisher will always distribute, so all configuration will be done on the publisher. So any configuration database will always be replicated to the rest of the members, i.e. to the subscribers inside the cluster. And how that is going to work from the subscriber point of view, meaning the subscriber will need to trust the publisher, and we're going to establish that trust in this video. Let's go. Okay, this is the this one's going to be the publisher, and that's ClearPass being installed on ESXi as OVA. Now ClearPass, as you know, can be installed on either KVM or Hyper-V or ESXi. This is already been installed. We will log into this ClearPass. Now for this to work, for the clustering to work, what you need, basically you need to have a trust relationship between the ClearPass appliances. So when the subscriber tries to subscribe to the publisher, there should be a trust relationship that exists. You have two options, either a private certificate or self-signed certificate that will be kind of in the private route, or a publicly signed certificate. For two types of certificates, that you need HTTPS and you need a database certificate for that clustering to work. The easiest way to go is to generate your own certificate on ClearPass itself. So what we're going to do right now, we will go to ClearPass and we will generate a self-signed certificate. We will generate two certificates, HTTPS, and we will generate database certificate. Then we will add these two certificates into the trusted root inside the subscriber. Then we will contact, or they try to make a subscriber, and the publisher in this case will be the main one where the certificates have been issued. So we're going to have a look at that now. So there we go, administration. We go for the certificate store, self-sign certificate. We will generate this request. That's the IP address, fully qualified domain name, and best practice is to use DNS in the subject alternate name, SAN, and then whatever password. We submit this. Then we will install this certificate on the server. So we're going to install that. Now you can go for the HTTPS. We're going to see that the new certificate has been installed. I can export the certificate and then install it in a trusted root on the local machine. That means the local machine will trust the certificate that was generated by ClearPass. So if I go to export, so we're going to go for the password. Go to export. So once you export that certificate, it is in the download folder, I believe. We will look at that. Certificate has been exported. We can look at this. Now, this certificate is issued or is exported in a certain format. This is a certificate that was exported a second ago. If we double click on the certificate, we can then install it on the local trusted root. So password is the password we have selected, and then we're going to go next, leave everything as is. we are going to place it in the trusted root in the certificate store. So browse, trusted root, next, finish, accept, because this is warning for you. Now we're going to accept that, and there we go. Now, if we go and reload the server in the browser, this will show you the certificate is going to be trusted. So we're going to just shut down the browser, open another browser window, and then the error message, the not secure message, will go away. It is because the HTTPS that was issued by the server, by the ClearPass server, yes, it is not publicly signed. By default, it's not really accepted because not trusted. We have changed that, and we made the machine where this ClearPass running on trust that certificate, which is issued by the ClearPass itself. What we're going to do, we will convert the P12 file format, the certificate, into PEM, and we're going to use the OpenSSL for that purpose. So if you look into OpenSSL, now we're going to double check. I don't like spaces, parentheses. I'm going to change this one to without the one, just in case. We'll generate the self-signed certificate. This time it's a database certificate. We're going to go server, and the certificate type is going to be database, and the common name will be 10.254.1.25. We just fill out some details here. It's a lab environment. So the SAN will be the IP address of the server. We're gonna make it -25, yeah? And then the password. So everything looks fine. We will install this certificate. And now if we go for database certificate, we're going to see the common name and so on. We'll need to export this certificate. And we're going to do the same. We'll convert it from P12 format into PEM format. We're going to follow the same procedure as we have done it in the previous case. After you install the new certificate on this server, a server reboot will be required. So we're going to reboot the server right now. And then we will join the other ClearPass to the cluster. We're going to wait for a few minutes. When that comes online, we will join to the cluster. That's a new certificate was exported. We're going to do the same process for the OpenSSL. We're going to convert this one from P12 to PEM. Now we will notice that the new certificate has been generated in this case. Look at this, the PEM for the database and the PEM for HTTPS service. So now we have the ingredients to make the other ClearPass server as the subscriber. Now we can clearly see when I connect to the ClearPass with the fully qualified domain name from the browser, there's no complaint. You see, certificate is valid, connection is secure, and there's no problem. Yeah, and the reason we could, of course, you need to connect with a fully qualified domain name. This ClearPass has an entry, or this entry, the name has an A record in the DNS server. So if you look at the DNS server, you'll find we have created an A record for that, and you can see it here. So now this is going to be the subscriber, and we need to add to the trust list the certificate that was issued by the publisher. So we go add, select the file, and we're going to go for the PIM version, the one we have converted before. The usage will be others, and we'll upload the database certificate here, which is this one. So now we have the database certificate, and we have the HTTPS certificate. We'll wait for the server to come back online, and we will then join the cluster. We'll now make a subscriber. We're going to go here. That's the IP address. Now being added as subscriber. It might take a few minutes for this process to be completed. The process has completed now. We should be able to see two servers now in one go. So if you go here, obviously you log in back in again, you can see the message here, limited access. For full configuration, you need to go to the master. So you go to publisher. So basically that's the publisher here. And if we log in, we're going to see clearly this is the publisher we will logged in from, and that is the subscriber. Now we'd like to configure the virtual IP address. So if you go to the publisher, that's a publisher, we can go and configure the virtual IP. So we have two servers. We're going to create a virtual IP address of 10. And then we will select who's the primary carer of that, say, and interface will be management, and the other one will be the standby or the secondary node. Should the primary node go down, then the secondary node will take over. So that's the virtual IP address. We can configure multiple. So let's say I'd like to configure another one. And in this case, we're going to go with the other way around. So the primary node will be the subscriber, and the secondary node will be the publisher in this case. And then you have two virtual IP addresses. So the virtual IP, you can see we have two virtual IP addresses. Thank you very much for listening to me on this video, and I hope to see you in future videos. Thank you. Take care. Bye.